hello again. Welcome to Cookin in the Kitchen, Boom Chang Records, DC, coast to coast. Got another fulfilled show for you coming up. International act again. I tell you, they're rolling into town. I can't believe it. We have Jesse Terry. He's come all the way from the northeast of America in the middle of a tour. He was down in Tynemouth last night, and today he's popped in the kitchen for a cup of tea, cup of coffee, and something to eat. How are you doing, Jesse? You well?
Beautiful, man. Yeah.
Welcome to Newcastle.
Thank you, brother.
Did you have a good night last night?
Great.
Did you?
Love the Surf Cafe, man.
Hey, it's a nice place, that, isn't it? Down on you get the seafront.
Chill and vibey. I love it.
Lovely people. I love that venue because the people who go there are listeners.
Yeah,
and that's important, you know.
You can hear a pin drop in there, man.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's great. So your background, I've done a little bit of research, not too much on you. I've looked at your website. I love the sound that you're getting with your band.
Oh,
you got a band, but
it's a good band, man.
You're traveling solo at the minute on this tour with your singer-songwriting?
Yeah, well, I did some shows with this brilliant guy, Will Knox, who's based out of London, tours mainly in Europe, though.
Right.
Incredible guy. And then I played a little bit with this girl, Amber Rubarth, and I've got my trusty tour manager slash cajon slash harmony singer, Mr. Ian Lightfoot, with me.
Who's a Geordie as well, isn't he?
He's a good old Geordie, Yep.
Ian, come in and quickly say hello to the people.
Say hello.
You don't have a mic on you, but it doesn't matter. Just speaking to that person and say hi.
Hello, people. This is Ian Lightfoot with Steve cooking in the kitchen.
Hey, come on then.
I think he's had some experience.
Music.
Yeah.
How did you start?
Well, I was an art student. My parents were musicians, so I did everything I could to not be a musician, you know?
Really?
And I just didn't want to do it, it's a typical thing, you know?
Not do what your parents do.
Yeah, so I was in art school, I was painting and stuff, and then I had a big injury, I think a broken leg or something, and my mom gave me her old guitar when I was like almost 19, you know, so fairly late to it, and started writing songs and just fell in love with it, and it was the only thing that I didn't quit, you know?
Brilliant.
So I walked into art school and I said, I'm out of here, and wound up in Boston at Berklee College of Music a couple of years later.
Yeah.
And I've never done anything since.
You learned your skills, you learned to do singer-songwriter stuff.
Yeah.
You know, obviously from your creative background, being an artist.
Yeah.
Bringing words together, was that pretty straightforward for you? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I always loved poetry and literature but really I grew up listening to James Taylor and the Beatles and Paul Simon and all these wonderful wordsmiths and so even before I was got into writing songs, I love singing and I love the music, you know. So and then when I actually wrote a song, I was like, oh man, this is the greatest expression that I've ever experienced. You know, it still is. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
writing a good song, it's like a minor miracle.
Yeah,
you know?
I've always said to people when they come in the kitchen, when they sing songs to me, I mean, I feel quite privileged because they're singing it to me. You know, sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like a one-man sort of audience type thing. When you listen to the lyrics when it's been sung to you directly, I mean, it takes you into that picture, doesn't it? You get to see the pen, and you get to see what you're trying to explain.
Yeah, they're their own little world. You know, they invite you into their world, and
that's a great thing.
You know, when it all works. You know.
Yeah. Well, I would love you to play one song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to do 3 or 4 today if we can. But what's your first one going to be?
Let me do this song called "Let the Blue Skies Go to Your Head." It's been kind of a good song for me. This song is kind of about you know that feeling when everything's going great and you just kind of have this feeling in the back of your head that the rug's about to get pulled out from under you.
It's probably misbelief.
This song's it is. This song's kind of about believing in the good times and believing that they're going to keep on going and the good times are real.
Excellent. Look forward to hearing it.
Yeah, right on, brother. All right. Is there in your driveway about 8:45? You can hear the boardwalk and the carnival rides, and it's much too early just to sit at home. But you only see thorns as they hand you a rose, as you lean on the hood of his car. His engine's warm, he's waiting for you. Tell me what you got to lose. You're always counting on rain, like it's always gonna fall the same. Oh, don't go inside, don't you play dead. Honey, let the blue skies go to your head. Yeah. You see a flash of your childhood in its halogen lights. You can picture them leaving without a goodbye. You gotta push that away, girl, or you'll never get out. And this cruel old world will keep crumbling down. You ain't always gonna be this young. His engine's warm, he's waiting for you. Tell me what you got to lose. It's so hard for you to believe in something real, yeah. You're always counting on rain, like it's always gonna fall the same. Oh, don't go inside, don't you play dead. Honey, let the blue skies go to your head. You know, I had an electric, I sold it because my wife's a Kiwi and I had to sell it to pay for the immigration attorney. That's a whole other story though.
That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. You gotta sell some guitars sometimes. But I've got 4 beautiful acoustics, and I'm endorsed by this wonderful company called Stonebridge Guitars that make handmade guitars in the Czech Republic.
Right.
And I didn't bring that one over on this trip, partially because it's worth so much money.
Well, that's the thing. You don't want to lose that, really.
Yeah, I mean it's insured, but
it's not the same.
but I mean, but I love this is like the first nice guitar I ever bought, and it's
Beautiful.
about 14 years old now, and it's just starting to really be warm, come into its own, and it gets warmer and warmer every day, Judge the time by shade beneath the willow. Dark always comes too soon. 8805, you train to New York City and walk a mile or 2. And I bet you see bluebirds out on the lawn, and never do knows when guns are all drawn. We'll go on ahead and never be touched, and don't get caught stumbling with the likes of us. We'll go on ahead, well, I will catch up in time. Just keep your eyes open wide, bright white eyes. Barefoot child, barefoot child. Look out your blinds, white flags on every rooftop. Did you wind up here? Weren't you born somewhere so green and sheltered you never learned to fear? 'Cause I hear you laughing when you skin your knees as you keep on climbing up through the leaves. We'll go on ahead and never be touched, and don't get caught stumbling with the likes of us. We'll go on ahead, will catch up in time.